Most people think night shifts are easy. Less people, less noise, less stress. But after working nights for almost 4 years, I learned something terrifying. Some places feel completely normal during the day, but after 3 a.m., they become something else entirely. The people in these stories all worked alone, and every one of them experienced something they still can't explain. These are 3 true night shift horror stories. Back in 2022, I worked the overnight shift at a small gas station outside Oklahoma. The station sat directly beside a long, empty highway surrounded by woods. At night, almost nobody stopped there except truck drivers. Most nights were boring. I usually watched videos on my phone or cleaned shelves until sunrise. But around 2 a.m. every night, the place became unnaturally quiet. No cars, no insects, nothing. The silence always felt wrong somehow. One rainy Thursday night, a man walked into the gas station around 2:43 a.m. I noticed him immediately because he looked completely soaked from the rain. But strangely, the floor behind him was dry. No wet footprints. He wore a dark gray hoodie pulled over his face. I greeted him. No response. He slowly walked toward the refrigerator section at the back of the store. Something about the way he moved felt unnatural, too slow, almost stiff. I kept glancing at him through the security mirror. For nearly 5 minutes, he just stood there staring inside the refrigerator, not moving. Finally, he walked toward the counter carrying a candy bar. When I looked up, he was already staring directly at me. Wide eyes, completely emotionless face. I told him the total price. Still no response. Then he slowly reached into his hoodie pocket and handed me a soaked $20 bill. His hand touched mine for a second. It felt freezing cold. Not normal cold. Ice cold. Then he quietly asked, "Do you ever lock the back door?" The way he said it made my stomach tighten instantly. I lied and told him yes, even though I never locked it. He smiled slightly, grabbed the candy bar, then walked outside into the rain. The second he disappeared outside, I locked the front entrance. I don't know why. Something just felt wrong. About 10 minutes later, I heard metal banging behind the building, near the back storage hallway. I froze. Then came footsteps. Slow footsteps outside the back door. I checked the security monitor. Nothing there, but the banging continued. Then my manager suddenly called me. His voice sounded nervous. He asked, "Why is there someone standing behind the store?" My blood ran cold instantly. I told him to call the police. He said he was already watching the cameras remotely from home. Then he whispered, "The man hasn't moved in 10 minutes." I grabbed my flashlight and slowly walked toward the back hallway. Every light back there flickered constantly. The banging suddenly stopped. Silence. Then, 3 loud knocks hit the back door. Bang, bang, bang. I nearly dropped the flashlight. Then a voice spoke quietly from the other side. "Open the door." I backed away immediately. The voice didn't sound human. It sounded distorted, like multiple voices speaking together. Police arrived 20 minutes later. They searched the woods behind the gas station. Nobody was there, but they found muddy footprints leading into the forest, only going in. No footprints ever came back out. I quit the job 3 days later, but before leaving, my manager showed me the security footage from that night. At exactly 2:47 a.m., the front door opened by itself. Nobody entered, but for the next 11 minutes, the cameras recorded me talking to someone standing at the counter. Someone invisible. In 2021, I worked overnight security at a hospital in Pennsylvania. The building was massive, 7 floors, long, empty hallways, flickering lights. And at night, the place felt terrifying, especially the 6th floor. Years earlier, a fire had broken out there. Several patients died before firefighters arrived. After that, the floor was permanently closed. No staff allowed upstairs. One night, around 3:13 a.m., I heard static coming through my radio. Then footsteps, slow footsteps, coming from the 6th floor. At first, I assumed another guard accidentally went upstairs, so I checked the security cameras. The 6th floor hallway lights flickered constantly, and at the end of the hallway, someone stood there motionless, tall, thin, completely still. I radioed the other guards. Nobody answered. Then suddenly, the figure appeared closer to the camera, not walking, just suddenly closer. My chest tightened immediately. I grabbed my flashlight and took the elevator upstairs. The doors opened slowly. The hallway smelled burnt, like smoke trapped inside old walls. Half the lights were dead. The rest flickered red. Then I heard something moving. Metal wheels squeaking slowly. A wheelchair rolled across the hallway by itself. No one pushing it. I backed away immediately. That's when my flashlight shut off. Pitch darkness swallowed the hallway. Then I heard breathing directly beside me. Slow breathing. Wet breathing. I turned my head slowly and saw a pale face inches away from mine. Its eyes were completely black, and it was smiling. I screamed and stumbled backward. Suddenly, the emergency lights activated. The hallway glowed dark red, but the figure was gone. The wheelchair disappeared too. I sprinted toward the elevator, but before the doors closed, I saw something standing at the far end of the hallway, watching me. Its arms looked too long. Its smile stretched unnaturally wide. The next morning, I reviewed the security footage. At exactly 3:17 a.m., all cameras on the 6th floor shut off for 11 seconds. But before the footage cut out, one frame showed a figure standing directly behind me, looking over my shoulder. I resigned that same week. Months later, another security guard contacted me online. He asked me one question. Did you ever hear knocking on the walls upstairs? I never answered him. Last winter, I worked overnight shifts at a small railway station in northern Canada. The station sat completely isolated. No nearby buildings, no houses. Only endless snow and dark train tracks disappearing into the forest. After midnight, the station stayed almost completely empty. One final train passed around 1 a.m. After that, nothing until sunrise. Most nights felt peaceful, until one stormy night in December. At exactly 2:51 a.m., my station radio crackled loudly. Static filled the speaker. Then a whispering voice said, "Train arriving early." I frowned immediately. No train was scheduled. I checked the railway system. Nothing. No incoming trains. Then the station lights flickered violently. Outside, through the snowstorm, headlights slowly appeared in the darkness. A train approached the station silently. No horn, no screeching wheels, just silence. The train stopped beside platform 4. Its metal exterior looked ancient. Rust covered the sides. Every window remained dark. Then suddenly, the interior lights turned on. Passengers sat inside every compartment, perfectly still. Every single one facing forward. None blinking, none moving. I stepped closer, holding my flashlight. That's when I realized something horrifying. Every passenger had their eyes closed. Dozens of people sitting motionless in complete silence. Then slowly, one passenger opened their eyes and stared directly at me. The train doors hissed open. Nobody stepped out, but I heard footsteps inside, heavy footsteps approaching the exit. My instincts screamed at me to run. Then the station radio crackled again. Same whispering voice. Do not let them out. At that exact moment, every passenger opened their eyes together, and every head inside the train slowly turned toward me. I backed away in terror. Then one of the passengers stood up. Its body looked wrong, too tall. Its arms hung almost to the floor. Then more passengers started standing, one by one, slowly. Their movements looked unnatural, broken, like corpses trying to imitate humans. The lights inside the train flickered violently. That's when I finally saw their faces clearly. Rotting skin, sunken eyes. Some looked burned, others looked frozen solid. Then all of them started walking toward the doors, together. I ran into the control room and locked the door. Outside, I heard pounding against the station windows, then screaming. Hundreds of distorted voices screaming together. The station lights exploded above me. Glass shattered everywhere. Then suddenly, silence. Complete silence. A few moments later, I heard the train leaving slowly into the storm. When police arrived an hour later, the station was completely empty. No train tracks in the snow. No evidence any train had stopped there. Nothing. But security footage showed something impossible. At 2:58 a.m., the cameras captured me standing completely alone on Platform 4, talking to empty air. There was no train anywhere in the footage, but near the end of the recording, a dark figure slowly appeared standing directly behind me, smiling at the camera. I quit the next morning. But sometimes, late at night, I still hear that whisper in my dreams. Do not let them out.